Hello, 5th graders. Welcome to lesson 3.5, Round Decimals and Estimate. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can round decimals to a given place by using place value to estimate with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Remember that the objective needs to be typed into your digital math notebook, so pause and do that now. All right, everyone. Today's lesson is on estimating. Let's start out by you watching me for just a moment. When we estimate decimals, we are giving them a quick round so that we know what our answer should be close to. Estimating involves rounding and then usually adding or subtracting. Sometimes we might multiply or divide, but it tells us what our answer should be close to. The first thing here, we're going to start with the star. It says, don't forget to add 0. 0 is the hero. It is the best placeholder ever. So if we're missing place values, we should add a 0 in order to estimate. When we estimate things, we should estimate first and then either add or subtract or even multiply and divide. But the key thing here is that we estimate first. Sometimes I have students who like to do the work and then round their answer, and that doesn't help us with the goal of getting a close answer. So let's practice this together. We're going to add these decimals by estimating. It says we're going to round to the nearest hundredth, and we're going to add some zeros. So our first number here, we have 20.396. And I'm going to keep all of my decimals lined up by that point. So I'm going to do 3 point, there's our decimal again, 7, and then round my numbers with some zeros. And then lastly, I have 1.287. Now that I have zeros filled in, I can estimate my numbers to the nearest hundredth, like money. In the first number, the 9 is in the hundredths place, and I look next door, I see a 6. 6 makes me round up, and if the 9 changes, then it's going to change to a 10, which means that 3 is going to change to a 4. So that would be $20.40. And we could add another 0 on the end if we would like to, but that 0 doesn't add any value. Our next number has a 0 in the thousands place and a 0 next door. So it's not going to round up. It's going to stay as $3.70. And then our last number has an 8 in it, and we look next door, we see a 7, and 7 will make us round up, so the 8's going to change to a 9. So this would be $1.29. And if I add all of those together, then I would get $25.39. Some key words that tell us that we're going to estimate are the words about or almost, the word close to, or sometimes a friendly number. Are you ready to try this out with me? Let's get started. This time we are going to round and then subtract. First off, let's add zeros and make sure that all of our place values are the same. So we have 10.406. And then we can add a 0 here in front of the 4 to keep our place value. So we have 0, 4, 5, 2, 3. That's showing us that we have 0 in the tens place. Now we're going to round to the nearest hundredth again, and then we will subtract. So in the hundredths place over here we have a 0, but we look next door we see a 6. 6 will make us round up. So that would be 10 and 40. Sorry about that. We need a 41 cents. And then we would have a 2, and next to it is a 3, so that doesn't round up. So we have $4.52. Now to subtract, if we have 1, we can't take away 2. So we would borrow. This becomes a 3. 11 minus 2 is 9. 3 minus 5 we can't do, and we can't borrow from the 0. So we go all the way over here to the 1. Now we have 9 and 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. And 9 minus 4 is 5. So we have $5.89. Make sure that you pause and type these numbers into your digital math notebook. I know it may be hard to show all of the carrying, but mostly worry about the answers. All right, guys, it's time for our lesson activity. We are going to estimate some adding and subtracting by rounding to the nearest whole number. Remember, we talked about whole numbers in our last lesson. We talked about we don't want any decimals left over. So we're going to underline the ones place, and look next door, we see a 3. That doesn't make us round up, so that 6 is going to stay a 6. But if I underline the 5, next door I have a 7. 7 will make me round up, so that's going to change to a 6. In this case, I'm adding, and 6 plus 6 is 12. In our next number, we're going to underline the ones place again, because we're going for the whole number. So we underline the 1, we look next door, we see a 9. 9 makes us round up, so that number is going to change to a 23. Underneath we have a 7, and next door to the 7 we have a 1. So 1 doesn't make us round up, so 17 stays the same. 7 plus 3 is 10, and 2 plus 2 is 40. All right, one more together. This one is subtracting. If we underline the 8, we look next door, we see a 9. So that means that 8 is going to change into a 9. We underline the 4, we look next door, we see a 3. 3 doesn't make us round up, so that stays a 4. I'll get you started with number 4, but you need to fill in the answers on these two problems. If we underline the 4 and look next door, we see a 6. 6 makes us round up, so that would be 15. And if we underline the 0, we look next door, we see a 3. 3 doesn't make us round up, so that would stay a 10. So you find the answers to these two problems and be sure to type them in your digital math notebook. All right, 5th graders, you're almost finished. Make sure you complete the exit slip to show your teacher your understanding.